What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for tuning in for another fantastic video. We're going to be looking at IPOE. Of course, this is Chamath Palihapitiya's, what is it, fourth or fifth SPAC now? There's still IPOD and IPOF are still unannounced. They're still not talking about who they're merging with, but IPOE is merging with SoFi potentially towards the end of I was going to say November, but the end of March. So it's a little bit ways away, with a huge tailwind that we just saw in the last week or so, last like 2 weeks basically, with Robinhood restricting and limiting buying certain equities and really kind of hindering folks' transparency into the app and really allowing them to do whatever the heck they want to buy and sell on the open market. SoFi and really just Chamath coming into to play here and just coming out fairly strong here in the sense of just saying, hey, we have an app for you folks. And guess what? It's going to be substantially better than anything else you can see on like basically Robinhood. And we pull into a couple of the articles that we're going to be looking at today. Again, looking at Chamath's position. Of course, he is the lead person who's bringing this merger together with SoFi. Again, SoFi, if you're not familiar with it, we're going to kind of run through basically what they kind of what they fall into. That being said, we're going to be also looking at the chart. The chart's going to be a little bit more difficult to kind of look at, but because there's not much information, this is a newer SPAC, so there's not many days of data that we can pull from. So two things before we jump into the main stuff here. First, definitely check out the Audible down below. Audible, if you're not a fan of reading books like this guy, I love to listen to books. Check that out down below. Fantastic, has changed my life. I've been an Audible member for over 10 years. That being said, second one is going to be the Tastyworks account. So Tastyworks account is what I use for trading options, stock, futures market, and everything. They got everything covered. They're adding crypto hopefully soon as well there. So if you open an account today of $2,000 or more, you have an opportunity to get 10 options or 100 shares once you move over your account and you decide on what you rather capture. So let's go ahead and just kind of jump into the very first article. So this is right here from Chamath. He says, hey, there's only 3 apps currently right now that could particularly replace Robinhood. And of course he does SoFi, and he puts an asterisk there, and that asterisk means disclaimer. I'm taking this company public via IPOE, so I am biased, but I think it kicks ass. So enough, like just that. And then he also calls, sorry, the Cash App, which is from Square, and public, which I actually had to look up and I haven't heard that before, but that's an interesting one. It's basically a very beginning investing stuff where you can buy small slices of stocks and a small bundle of like making your own ETFs. That being said, so going to the SoFi site, again, I always knew this from people with student loans, but this has expanded quite a lot here in the last coming years. They have everything from investing, money, they have credit card, refinancing, student loans, personal loans, home loans, SoFi, everything, insurance, small business financing. But what we're really here for is the investing side of the house. So basically investing here, very much similar. I haven't downloaded the app and haven't created an account yet, but I will. Basically making commission-free trades, as you can see here. Basically same as Robinhood, but at the same time making it very elegant and simplistic in the sense of being able to see what you're looking at. Again, kind of very saying that you're seeing very bright colors, very transparent background, really just not going to be the most detailed in graphs it looks like on the charts here, like it would be like a think or swim kind of breakdown. Basically, and they also have they pride themselves on having these little communities, because you can see here, join a community. They do ongoing executive exclusive events and experiences. Learn by doing. Robinhood does kind of the same thing. They have podcasts, they have other various things and things like that. They have the stock bits. Basically, you can just start investing as low as $1. You're like, hey, I can't afford Amazon. let me just buy $1 worth of Amazon. So that's going to be definitely a great thing to kind of get people into the boat here. Of course, they see some of the larger companies here: Tesla, Nvidia, Nike, Netflix, Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and so forth. You can basically see a couple of those going through there. Of course, really just trying to get people into the account. That being said, they're saying win up to $1,000 in free stock when you download the app and open an active account today. So there's a lot of that advertising has again coming through due to kind of the lack of better words, the mistrust of people have gotten from Robinhood, from their app, and not really having transparency and seeing on what was really happening, and really felt somewhat short-sighted, I believe. Again, I haven't used Robinhood for many, many, many years, but from what I've seen and people's orders getting closed and just the lack of just freedom in that sense, it can be very stifling, and I don't discredit anyone who wants to leave from that kind of situation. That being said, we're just go ahead and let's jump into the chart here. Again, like we said, there's not going to be too much to kind of discuss on the chart here, because again, this SPAC just kind of came public basically after Thanksgiving, the first week of December. Normal SPAC kind of talk, it just kind of opens up around 10. People notice that it's available and they start buying in because again, if you don't understand, Chamath Palihapitiya has taken multiple stocks already public. He took Space, which actually was the first SPAC that I invested in. He took Open Door. He also just did Clover, and now he's working on IPOE. He's got IPOF and IPOD still available that are currently waiting to be some kind of announcement. Of course, he's definitely going to be most likely going all the way down to IPOZ. So definitely a long path for Chamath to be continuously investing here. That being said, here on the chart here, you can definitely see this large green candle come in here on the 7th. That's when the announcement was of like, hey, Chamath is going to be taking IPOE. They're going to be merging with SoFi and making them a merger and taking them public. And of course, since that has happened, we've had a large kick higher, and then it kind of digests a little bit. But again, with that very large move from basically that $12 range, nearly up to $21 in one day, just one day. That being said, and then they kind of just trying to trade sideways, does nothing, get some more news, get some more activity going. But with a very large pullback that we saw was in some of the market stuff. But once we found out and Robinhood starts restricting things, and Chamath goes on Twitter, talks about SoFi, talks about how disingenuous Robinhood is. Again, those were his words. And really just saying like, hey, there's so many other opportunities out there. Be an educated investor and just check out the other opportunities or platforms that can help you become a successful trader, investor, and just really not just bend you over the bench. With that being said, we hit that 21 EMA very hard, recovered with a strong V-shaped recovery. Again, be mindful again, that was a lot of propping in the sense of a lot of folks switching, because again, a lot of folks are upset. Like again, even it takes a couple business days. From my understanding, it takes anywhere from 5 to 7 business days, sometimes longer, on transferring. Even if you have an active account, most people are just going in and just starting an account completely fresh, and it still is going to take at least, depending on how, if again, I'm not familiar with SoFi. I'm setting up an account here shortly soon as well to kind of check out the technology and things like that. But this thing has definitely ramped up substantially from aka Chamath being very vocal, and of course it being a direct competitor to Robinhood in the sense of just being a whole financial services company. So people are asking, like, what kind of company could this come down to? Because again, it literally does an umbrella of things. It does refinancing student debt, which everyone knows that is the worst debt you can have, because it literally sticks with you not until you die. It sticks after you die, and it finds the next person to jump to, and it goes to them. That being said, with the debt stuff and the overall umbrella of what they cover, there's not many companies that do everything that they do. So it's a pretty astonishing to look at this. Again, looking at the stock itself, this thing could easily potentially try to break above 30, but a lot of momentum is in the stock right now. Again, with the two large catalysts that we talked about, with mostly a lot of folks is really upset with Robinhood and just kind of looking to move on to the next platform that will support them. And I think this potentially could happen. But again, I have not downloaded the account. I have not used it at all. With that being said, again, some key levels to look for as we break above that 28 to 29 level. Again, once we start getting some more murmurs about acquisition and when that deal would be coming forth and getting more information about SoFi, we have some targets around $35. Again, those are the Fibonacci trees. If we do get a pullback in the short term, we could be easily looking for $23 to $22 to the downside there. Those are going to be some easy levels of support. Some stronger support is going to be coming around $19.50 to around $20 there. That being said, what company would you kind of compare this to? Right off the bat, I would kind of compare it to like a PayPal, very much like a company that's somewhat encompassing a lot of the same scenarios. Of course, this is a very highly priced stock as well. Again, if we're looking at, I'm not a big fan of market value, but again, both of these stocks, Square and PayPal, have been absolutely going gangbusters here due to really catering towards the millennial trader, millennial investor, the overall millennial mindset. Again, we don't want to deal with talking to someone on the phone to get a loan and having to someone come over and sign documents. Let's just send it over. I'll read it. And I'll digitally sign the document, bada bing, bada bang. Let's make it simple. Can even make it through the phone. That would be fantastic. So that being said, I am an investor in IPOE. I am an investor in all the IPOs as of right now. But that being said, I like this one in the long run. This is definitely a longer term investment for myself. I can see that this is definitely growing quite substantially. As of right now, the options market is pretty hot on these stocks because the IV is really much through the roof. The IV is at 91%. So that's going to be a spicy meatball, as they say in the business. So be very mindful if you're buying calls directly, because you're paying a very nice premium to right now to the trading gods on trying to get into that. So if you're going to have a little bit more longer term mindset, maybe just kind of dabble with the stock. So that's what my opinion is and what I'm going to be doing there. So that being said, guys, thank you so very much for stopping by and watching the video to this point. Again, check out the affiliate links down below. Join the Discord. Hopefully see you soon. Hopefully we'll do a live stream this week as well to kind of talk to the community and just hang out and have a grand old time in the evenings. So again, guys, thank you so very much for stopping by. Here's Ken from the Dyslexic Investor. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.